In his first year as head coach, 34-year-old Stu Jackson. And for the Boston Celtics, Larry Bird and Kevin McHale in the backcourt. And Lewis, and at center, the 7-footer Robert Parrish. And in his second full season as head coach of the Boston Celtics, Jimmy Rogers. Also joining us throughout the playoffs is Leslie Visser. Let's get an update from Leslie.
Vern, in the huddle just now, both coaches took a matter-of-fact approach to this game. Jimmy Rogers told his troops to be alert to pressure early and to get out to a good defensive start. On the other end, Stu Jackson said that they had to be prepared for a more physical battle this time and also not to get lost mentally. Now, we all know that the Knicks haven't won here in almost 6 years. I think it's interesting and maybe prophetic that the big movie back in 1984 was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
It's been that.
I didn't get a chance to see that Temple of Doom.
You played in it right here.
Yeah.
Robert Parrish, the officials today, Earl Strom in his final season, Tommy Nunez and Paul Mihalik. We're underway. Kenny Walker loses the tip. It goes to Reggie Lewis. Celtics in white going from left to right. They trailed at halftime in game 1 by 2 despite shooting 61%. And this man, Dennis Johnson, had a big game. 14 points.
Well, we see two contrasting styles. The Celtics, they're going to look to pound it inside anytime they get a chance.
Larry Bird to Kevin McHale after the fine pump fake.
And right here we see the Knicks trying to up-tempo the basketball game. They're a smaller, quicker team.
Gerald Wilkins is fouled as he dishes inside to Patrick Ewing. And Kiki Vandeweghe will inbound now for the New York Knicks. There's the pick and roll, and Wilkins takes the shot first for New York, rims out. Kevin McHale with the rebound.
I think that's the key matchup of this game today. Gerald Wilkins and Lewis. Lewis has been killing the Knicks during the course of the regular season. Wilkins has not had a big game against the Celtics.
Here's Lewis over Wilkins, and he hits his first two. Reggie Lewis, who had 34 in the last game between these two here in regular season 2 weeks ago. Here's Ewing, about 18 feet out. A good job of denial by Robert Parrish, but a nice job by Ewing.
Oh, what a shot right there by Ewing. And you can see right off the bat, the Celtics are not looking to double team down on Patrick Ewing. They have that much confidence in the defensive ability of Robert Parrish.
Is that a surprise, Bill?
It is, but one of the reasons is they're concerned about their rotation defensively. If they do double, they're not quick enough.
Off the glass, Kevin McHale. It's 6-2 Boston, 10-30. And quickly up the court as they try and force the pace, is the way Stu Jackson called it. He said, we're not trying to dictate tempo. We want to force the pace. Here's Walker. Rebound, Parrish.
That's not the shot that they need. They need someone that can shoot the ball. Walker's got to rebound and run to the court.
McHale calling for the ball with Parrish, or over Walker, rather. And there's the rebound to Parrish. He'll shoot a couple.
Something if you're a Knickerbocker fan or Stu Jackson, you just can't allow to happen, where Parrish is just moseying down the court and he just has the ability to go get the offensive rebound. No one putting a body on him.
Robert Parrish, who is the least successful of a very successful free throw shooting team. He gets the first. Parrish shooting 75% for the season. The team shooting 83%, set a new NBA record for free throw success in 1989-90. 8-2 quickly. Boston out by 6.
Another factor for the Knickerbockers offensively, they cannot stand around and watch. They have to be penetrating, cutting to the basket, opening the court up.
Vandeweghe gets 2 over Kevin McHale. Now Dennis Johnson. Back to Johnson, top of the key, too strong. Offensive rebound, Parrish. Strong to the basket, and Walker fouls him.
Well, there's two cases where Patrick Ewing did not do the job on the defensive boards. And there's a case also we can see what the defensive strategy of the Knickerbockers is. And they're going to double McHale every time he touches the ball, and they're going to say to Dennis Johnson, you have to beat us from the perimeter. But Dennis Johnson's heard that for 7 years now. Now there's Ewing. You see, he did not have a body. He was just reaching for that on Parrish, and he was reaching for the rebound, which allowed Parrish to get in there.
Parrish gets the first free throw of the 2, and you saw Charles Oakley make his appearance. Oakley missed the last 17 games of regular season with that broken left hand. He played 16 minutes of game 1, but his timing was off. He grabbed only 2 rebounds.
interesting to see the coach, Stu Jackson. He's not waiting. He realizes today they have to go out and, if necessary, play players 48 minutes to try and win this ball game.
He said he might use Ewing as many as 45 today. Here's Cheeks. Not there. Loose ball foul. I think it's against Charles Oakley. Let's see.
Yeah, it's Charles Oakley going to the offensive boards, but that's not bad for the Knickerbockers. He's making a statement that they're not going to be pushed around on the inside on the boards. He's going to pound them. And we saw the 2 offensive rebounds by Parrish. Stu Jackson was not going to wait for it. He wants that physical presence inside.
Well, the offensive rebounding has been a real problem since Oakley went out. There's Reggie Lewis again with Wilkins starting him. Bird. Shot doesn't fall, but Vandeweghe picks up the foul. And Larry Bird will go to the free throw line, where yet again this year he was outstanding with a 93% average. Matter of fact, we talked about this free throw percentage. Larry Bird set a new club record this year, breaking a mark held by Bill Sharman from back in the late 50s. Bird, who missed all but 6 games last year, said he really couldn't wait for the regular season to be over to get back in the playoffs, and a rare miss for Larry Bird.
Well, you'll find that so often with veteran teams like the Celtic ball club. They know what it's all about, and they're trying to win another championship.
Vandeweghe, Oakley. That's what they've been missing, is that offensive rebound.
That physical presence. You know, this is some front line the Celtics have. When you look at Parrish, 7 feet tall, McHale with those long arms, he's over 7 feet tall, and Bird is 6'9". They need someone that's going to pound.
Charles Oakley, as we said, missed that last 17. Rebound margin, they were +2 with him in the lineup, and without him, they were down 4, and that's considerable.
And one of the problems for the Knicks is for rebounding, especially Patrick Ewing. He's always trying to block the shot, so he's never in that good defensive rebounding position to rebound, whereas Oakley, he knows he can't block the shot, so he concentrates on the defensive boards.
1 of 2 at the Knick end. It's an 11-5 game, under 9 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Reggie Lewis.
I was a little surprised to see no defensive pressure full court from the Knickerbockers.
The answer at the other end comes from Kiki Vandeweghe.
Another point with this tempo the Knicks are coming out with is, does the heat become a factor here in the Boston Garden? And they expect it to be close to 100 degrees.
Nice move by Lewis in the paint. 15-7. Well, Bill, the Knicks are forcing the tempo more than we saw the other night. They're trying to get this thing at enough tempo pace.
And they must do it.
Wilkins. He'll shoot a couple.
And a couple reasons, Vern. Number one, the size. They have the quickness. They're not a good set offensive ball club because the only option they really look to when they go to the set offense is Patrick Ewing.
Robert Parrish was told of talking about the heat here, and he said, well, I was raised in the South. I'm used to it. It's not going to be a problem. But it might be debilitating more for the Celtics, I think, than the Knicks.
As long as the game is close.
Right.
And they can keep this tempo up. And we know that one thing, the Knicks probably have a deeper bench than the Celtics, so that could be a big factor as we go along.
Matter of fact, in game 1, the Knicks had 41 points off their bench, most from Johnny Newman and Trent Tucker. And Jimmy Rogers and the Celtics has gone primarily to an 8-man rotation now, and he doesn't have that much offensive weaponry from the Celtic bench. Oakley on Bird. There's triple team. McHale got poked in the eye.
Well, one thing that happens when they put that full court pressure on the Knickerbockers, that is, when the Celtics break it down, there's a lot of mismatches, and at that time it was McHale matched up against Gerald Wilkins, and there's several inches he's giving up. Now here you see the mismatch. Bird making that pass into McHale. McHale seeing the contact and just going up and throwing the basketball to the hoop.
Vandeweghe called for the foul, his second 15 foul, and Kevin McHale goes to the line. Let's see where that happened again.
Well, here you see Kiki coming over. You see Ewing. He's triple teamed on that play. Oh, and he got hit right in the eye. That's the problem when you have a mismatch with a guard on a big man.
Jimmy Rogers goes to his bench and gives Robert Parrish a rest. And that brings on Joe Klein, who's been a fine defensive addition, giving Parrish a chance to rest this year.
And a big factor, Parrish told us yesterday that he's healthier, feels fitter mentally than he has in years. And the reason, because Joe Klein has allowed him to reduce his minutes on the court.
Foul away from the ball. It's an illegal defense called on the Boston Celtics. So that's the first, a warning. Next one results in a technical. 17-9 Boston. They jumped out to an 8-2 lead and haven't been threatened since.
But that's not too bad. I wouldn't be as concerned because the Knicks are trying to do what they wanted to do with their game plan.
There's Ewing and Klein, and they're going to get Joe Klein. Big, rough 7-footer out of the University of Arkansas. Joe started his collegiate career at Notre Dame and then went to Sacramento in the NBA draft. Field goal percentage thus far, 3 of 6 for New York. Boston, 5 of 7. Wilkins tried to adjust, and McHale forced him to alter the shot.
He's a streak player at the offensive end of the court, and if he doesn't get going quickly, I would imagine Stu Jackson will bring Tucker in.
He really is probably the least effective in the half-court game, wouldn't you say?
He has to get to the open court.
Reggie Lewis, 2 more. And Reggie Lewis has a quick 8. It's a 10-point lead. Oakley. 1 shot and out.
Yep, too quick. You want to force the tempo, but you want to make sure it's a good shot for that player, and that's not for Charles Oakley.
2-on-2. Wilkins lays it off for Oakley. The ball is stripped. New York's ball to inbound. And time has been called here in the Garden. The first of a big ovation for the New York Celtics, up by 10. The Boston Celtics.
It starts in California. It ends in New York.
Hey guys, can I try that?
All riders to the starting line.
They call it the Tour Delight. The world's top competitors racing across America to win a lifetime supply of America's favorite light beer.
Miller Lite.
Looks like everybody wants to win this thing. The Jamaican bobsled team is making its move, as is the Italian team. And of course, Run DMC. Flecko and White seem to be falling behind.
It's the handlebars.
Hey guys, I know a shortcut. Follow me.
Well, there goes Woody Harrelson. Yes, these guys would not race cross-country for just any beer. Only the less filling beer that really tastes great. Miller Lite. And so the Tour Delight is on its way to New York.
Canada. All right, that's on the map.
Dear Michelin, in the last 6 years,
your tires.
Before Fred, before Ethel, the never-before-seen show that sold the series. The very first episode of I Love Lucy, Monday.
Thursday night in the Eastern Conference, a terrific game. Philadelphia outlasting Cleveland with Charles Barkley having a terrific night. Detroit beat Indiana. Got great play off their bench. Those games on Thursday night. And then last night in the Eastern Conference, Chicago got 38 from Michael Jordan to defeat Milwaukee. Game 2 begins today, of course. And after our Boston-New York game, stay tuned for Detroit and Indiana, their game 2. We're going to be with you every Saturday and Sunday from now until a 1990 NBA champion is crowned. And the Boston Celtics,
You got it.
they lead New York. And the rebounding edge is overwhelming early on.
There's that physical presence. You know, they're not getting to the offense or the defensive boards. Thank goodness Charles Oakley is coming to the game because no one's gotten a hand on a rebound other than him.
Oakley, Gerald Wilkins, and Johnny Newman join Patrick Ewing, and there's the fight with Ewing and Klein. This time Ewing wins the battle to get into the low post and then misfires on the shot.
Yeah, but he had the good position, but McHale came over from the weak side and forced him to alter his shot.
It's still Lewis, McHale, Johnson, Parrish, and Klein now. Rather, Bird and Klein. And there's a foul away from the ball.
One thing in regards to Gerald Wilkins, he cannot stop looking at the basket and looking for a shot, because for this team to have any chance of beating the Celtics today, they're going to need a good offensive ball game from him.
Larry Bird goes back to the free throw line. Wilkins with the foul.
Larry Bird has 2 shots.
And the lead is 11. Mo Cheeks. He and Kiki Vandeweghe came into the starting lineup for this New York team about a month and a half ago. Here's Cheeks off the glass and in.
That's what he has to do, be very aggressive at the offensive end of the court. In the first game, Dennis Johnson was able to shut that down and not allow that penetration. Here's the half-court trap.
And Jimmy Rogers says we don't mind the half-court trap at all. Look at the pump fake by Bird and Ewing with the foul.
You know, something very interesting Jimmy Rogers told us about how the Celtics will attack the trap, which surprised me, because in most cases when a team traps, teams look to get the ball into the middle near the foul line and then look for somebody for the open jump shot or take it to the basket. He feels because of the Knicks wanting to get into an up-tempo game, they want to show even more patience trying to get the ball inside to their big people unless they have an easy layup.
The lead is 12, 23-11, 6 minutes to go in the first quarter of play.
It's difficult to get out and run the way the Knicks would like to unless they can do something at the defensive end of the court, and they haven't been able to do it to this point.
Newman, there's the switch, the behind-the-back pass. Nicely done, and Oakley gets 2.
That was a great pass to Oakley. Now, Newman came off the bench and really sparked this team in game 1 at the latter part of the first period. They need that from him today.
Johnny Newman had 22 off the bench here Thursday night. Reggie Lewis on fire. That's a miss, and it'll go the other way.
But you see it right there how important Charles Oakley is to this team. There were 3 Celtics on the offensive boards, 1 Knickerbocker, Charles Oakley. Other people have to realize, hey, I have to stick my nose in there and get on the defensive glass.
Is it just a matter of attitude?
It is. It's a mentality. And I know, as Stu Jackson told us, this is something we're going to have to do. And even though you're outsized as a ball club, the guards, the big people, everyone have to get to the defensive glass.
Well, the free throw woes continue for this New York Knicks team. They missed 11 in the second half, and they are 3 of 5 in the early going here.
You can see on that left hand of Charles Oakley, he broke that hand about 6 weeks ago. He's only had a chance to practice twice, but he says that the protective measures and bandage they put on that hand have not hindered his ball handling.
Johnny Newman went up to get the rebound away from McHale, and it's out of bounds off McHale, so New York will have another opportunity. 5:29 to go. First quarter of play, Boston up by 10. This is a Boston team that won 9 of its last 10 in regular season. Ewing gets the roll.
I think Patrick should realize now how they're playing him defensively, that the help isn't coming down to help him. So when he catches the ball in that area, he should make his move a lot quicker and beat any type of defense.
There's a McHale tracking it down, takes the baseline jumper and hits it. And the lead is back to 10 at 25-15. Johnny Newman, nice finger roll.
And attacking the basket, not settling for the jump shot.
25-17. Dennis Johnson, low post. Back to Klein, travel.
Well, right there, the tables were reversed. Dennis Johnson was posting up and getting the double team and throwing it out to someone else to shoot the basketball, but Joe Klein walked.
That's the second Boston turnover. They lead it by 8, 25-17. Three-pointer for Johnny Newman.
Well, that's the type of spark, and there's the steal by Cheeks.
And it'll be New York's ball. Maurice. 3:50 to go. Wilkins off the pick from Ewing, the roll, and there's Patrick Ewing with the 15-footer. Got it.
You can see and feel the Knicks getting into a comfortable rhythm at the offensive end of the court. They're moving the basketball. They're taking good shots every time down.
They trail by as many as 12 early on. Larry Bird gives Boston a 7-point edge.
Well, there's Larry Bird just outsmarting Newman off that pick and roll.
Wilkins has the shot rejected, but then gets the rebound and puts it in.
That's the way Gerald Wilkins has to play to be effective. He's got to get up and down the court to get and be in that open court because he's such a good athlete and creative.
Dennis Johnson with Ewing and Cheeks on it. McHale calls for it underneath. Bird takes it. And Ewing gets the rebound. In the backcourt, Oakley gave Johnson a poke and got caught. That foul on Charles Oakley. He gave an elbow, and he didn't get away with it. Time has been called. She got you.
Leslie, I'll tell you.
She got you.
Yep.
29-24. Well, if you were with the basketball show, you heard Billy talk about the ghost that parade through here.
Well, it's a long game, Leslie.
Larry Bird scoops the pass to McHale, knocked out of bounds, Boston ball. Matter of fact, the only member of the New York Knicks who has won here in a New York uniform is Trent Tucker. And he has yet to make an appearance in the ball game. Trent played 14 minutes in that game, 1984.
Those young men with the towels are going to have a busy day, as warm as it is in here, making sure the players won't hurt themselves slipping and sliding.
There's also ice under this floor. Reggie Lewis rejected by Ewing. McHale gets the putback. The Boston Bruins played here last night and won, defeating Montreal. So the floor is down over the ice. Off the glass, Gerald Wilkins. Boy, he has shown a little spark now.
Yeah, he's a streaky player, and when he gets a few hoops or misses a few, it's either up or down with him when he's on the court.
2:20 to go, first quarter. Bagley is in the lineup now for the Celtics and gets his first shot to fall. Mark Jackson played 13 minutes the other night. Of course, he lost his starting spot to the man who has the ball right now, Mo Cheeks. And don't know if we'll see Mark much today at all, especially not after plays like that.
No, and if necessary, Cheeks will play 48 if the Knicks are in this ball game in the fourth period.
5 points, Boston edge. There's Larry Bird coming off for a three-pointer. Ewing tracks it down. Lewis gets the loose ball and puts it in. Reggie Lewis.
Well, again, we see, though, the defensive boards, the Knicks are not doing the job. They had one player on the boards, and Ewing was not strong enough to control the rebound.
Ewing will shoot a couple. And Joe Klein picks up another foul.
You know, for the Knicks, they're just going to have to do a better job defensively. When Larry Bird misses an open shot like he did there, and you don't get the rebound, and we saw the play before that, Ewing blocks the shot, McHale picks it up. They have to be reacting to the basketball before they're looking to get out and try and run.
Substitution now. Jim Paxson, who had a solid defensive game here Thursday night, replaces Reggie Lewis, who goes to the bench with 10 points. And Patrick Ewing, who was only 4 of 10 from the free throw line in game one, gets them both to fall and cuts the lead to 5. As we said, it's 90 degrees an expected high in Boston. And this, of course, is ancient, venerable building without air conditioning. It gets very warm in here. Here's McHale posting up over Oakley. 2 more. He's got 12.
Yeah, and it becomes a tough matchup for Oakley after that silly foul he committed because he's got 2, and he's too important right now to go to the bench for the Knicks.
Oakley strong to the basket. Off of Gerald Wilkins, who penetrated and tossed it back out.
That's the key, Vern. Just what you said. It was the penetration that created that opportunity.
Bird with a pump fake over Johnny Newman. Joe Klein wide open off the assist from Larry Bird.
And we see the Celtic bench coming in and contributing offensively.
And that basket's going to count. McHale picks up the foul, and Johnny Newman will try and make it a three-point play.
Jimmy Rogers has to be very concerned, though, that his team is scoring at the other end, and the Knicks are able to get layups after that made field goal. Then they're going to either have to get back better defensively as a team or put pressure on the man inbounding the pass.
How do you like overall the tempo of this game so far?
It's a Knick tempo so far. The thing is, they're just going to have to do a better job on the defensive boards.
They trail by 5 in the final 40 seconds. Nice move by McHale. The rebound, Patrick Ewing. The outlet pass, Mo Cheeks. Wilkins flies by Larry Bird. The lead is 3.
And there was a 4-on-2 fast break.
What was a 12-point lead has been cut to 3. Bagley, Klein, Bird, McHale, and Paxson on the court now for Boston. Jim Paxson gets the pick. Finds Klein in the low post. Over Charles Oakley.
You know, Joe Klein, that's just a big plus he's adding to this ball club, because what they look for him is just rebounding and being physical.
Yeah, that's an unexpected bonus. Johnny Newman, nice play.
Well, so far, both teams have been able to score at will.
That's the end of the first period with our score. The Boston Celtics 41 and the New York Knicks 38.
The real test of a power mower is
Robert Parrish over Patrick Ewing.
And there's a case that Patrick Ewing just let Parrish get the ball too close to the basket. He's got to push him out.
Johnny Newman. Offensive putback by Oakley goes in.
Well, there's a physical block. He should have just powered it right back to the basket.
Well, the 6, 7, and 8 men of the Celtics are on the court right now. Billy was talking about them. Bagley, Paxson, and Klein. There's Reggie Lewis. He's got 12 points in the ball game now. The lead is back to 7.
Yeah, this bench has moved the lead up. And that's something you don't expect from a Celtic bench. You expect, the best that they would be able to hold it in place.
John Bagley. Parrish gets the offensive board.
Just out-hustled the 2 Knicks.
And the 2 Knicks were Oakley and Ewing. Paxson. Now Cheeks comes across the timeline, but the Celtics do get back. Tucker for 3. And Mo Cheeks muscles John Bagley out of the way, giving Trent Tucker a chance to try another one.
And Patrick Ewing is at the other end of the court. He's exhausted and asked Coach Jackson to please get me out.
Now Ewing just still isn't in your picture. There he is.
Oh, he just had around a 2-minute break.
Taken away by Bagley. Reggie Lewis.
Well, one thing that Stu Jackson can't do is wait. He's got to get the timeouts and not allow the Celtic team to run away with the game.
The old Dogs lead the Young Pups 49-40. 9:13 to go. Antonio outlasted Denver. David Robinson with 26 points. Portland held off the Dallas Mavericks by 7 out on the West Coast. And the Lakers last night defeated Houston as James Worthy had 34. Kevin Johnson on the bench with the flu for Phoenix for much of the game, and Utah won that. And a doubleheader for you in the West tomorrow. We'll have Houston-LA as the second game of our doubleheader. And how old are the Celtics? Well, Robert Parrish at 36, Johnson 35, Bird 33, and McHale at 32. But despite the age, Bill, they've only missed those 17 games between the 4 of them.
That's really something. And again, I think a big factor is what we're seeing right here in this second period. The bench being able to play, contribute positively to this ball club, and allow Jimmy Rogers not to have to extend the older players those extra minutes.
Mark Jackson is on now for the first time for the New York Knicks. Trent Tucker, Johnny Newman, Oakley, and Kenny Walker back in the ball game as Ewing gets a rest. And there's the tap in by Oakley. Here come the Celtics across the timeline, taken away by the Knicks. During that timeout, Leslie Visser was in that or near the Knickerbocker huddle. Les, what'd you hear?
Vern, Stu Jackson told his players that the Celtics are just scoring too easily. He told each player that it was his responsibility to put more.
Robert Parrish and Larry Bird up there, they really have to do the job.
Reggie Lewis. Jackson draws that defensive assignment now. Here's Paxson. Easily by Kenny Walker and misses the layup, but the tap goes in.
Again, penetration, defense has to help. Offensive players get to the glass.
A 10-4 Boston run to open the second quarter now. Newman. Bird takes it away, puts it in the hands of Reggie Lewis. Boston on the break. Bagley.
The thing that's impressed me, now we see the Celtics with the older crew out here, not having the quickness, outrunning this younger, smaller Knicks lineup.
Bagley misfires on the free throw, and it stays at 11, 53-42. So the Celtics, who led by as many as 12 early in the game, have it back in double figures now. Jackson works on Bagley on the whistle. Foul called on John Bagley. Coming up from Detroit, Indiana-Detroit, game 2. James Brown and Tommy Heinsohn there to bring you that one, the defending NBA champions. Won with relative ease in their first game on Thursday. Offensive foul.
Trent Tucker hooked Paxson, and Earl Strom right on top of it saw the foul. Now this is a scary time for the Knicks, because are they thinking about, or in the back of their minds, their losing record here in the Garden?
And Earl Strom saw the shove, Bill.
Yeah, he sure did. That's one of the reasons that you have 3 officials out there.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that, do they lose that confidence? You know, things were going good. Now they're struggling. Somebody out here for the Knickerbockers is going to have to grab a hold of this whole situation and say, hey, let's get going and do something and get the team going in the right direction.
Jim Paxson goes to the line to shoot a couple. 7:31 to go in the first half. Let's check the New York lineup now. Kiki Vandeweghe back in. He joins Trent Tucker, Charles Oakley, Jackson, and Kenny Walker on the court. And for the Celtics, it's Parrish and Bagley, Paxson, Lewis, and Larry Bird.
Boy, you look out here on the court and you see so many mismatches in regards to for the Celtics at the offensive end of the court. You know, who's going to play Larry Bird? Who's going to play Parrish? Tough decisions, and they really have to do the job and hustle out here, the Knicks, to stop those players.
What's the reason you think that Steve Jackson has gone to the smaller lineup?
He's just trying to get his team more aggressive, and there we see, we're talking about aggressiveness. This Celtic ball club just displaying great individual and team defense.
That's 6 New York turnovers. And what was a minuscule 3-point lead at the end of the first quarter is out to 13 now at the 7-minute mark. Parrish.
Well, I know you don't like to double on Parrish if you're Stu Jackson, but when you have someone 7 feet tall and someone 6'8" playing a guy, you got to go back and give him some help, because that's going to happen all game if they don't do something.
Oakley, the timing is way off. Offensive rebound by Trent Tucker, and Vandeweghe will shoot a couple. Fouled by John Bagley.
Now, one thing, when things are going bad and you're struggling at the offensive end of the court, that's where you have to have more patience than you did earlier when things were good.
Hey, only a friend is going to tell you, but, you know, hanging out in that monkey suit, well, you're attracting the wrong kind of attention. At a party, you got people offering you deals on kiwi farms instead of...
Despite the age and experience, he said, we are as healthy as we have been in the last 3 or 4 years. Now let's check the lineups. Here's Ewing, jump hook. First shot of the third quarter. Loose ball chased down by Kiki Vandeweghe, and he'll take the shot. Reggie Lewis comes down with the ball for Boston. It's Bird, Johnson, Lewis, McHale, and Parrish, the starting 5 for Boston. And Oakley gets the start in the second half, joining Vandeweghe, Cheeks, Ewing, and Wilkins for the New York Knicks.
And this is the end of the court that the Knicks are going to have to get it going. At the defensive end of the court to let them get out and run.
Ewing puts a body on McHale and gets called for a foul. That's his second first team foul. Here's the pick and roll. Back it comes to Robert Parrish. Johnson. Rotation didn't allow Cheeks to get over quickly enough.
Yeah, and they just moved the ball so well. They're in such a great rhythm, and they're so in tune with each other at this point offensively that the Knicks have got their hands full to get back in this game.
There's Bird stripping the ball after the fine defense by Parrish. And McHale. Stu Jackson wants a 20-second timeout.
Yeah, one of the problems when you play against the Celtics and Larry Bird, if you don't keep him active offensively and if he's not concerned with the man he's playing, he's just going to roam, and he just does a great job with team defense, and we saw an example of that right there.
Parrish really with a fine defensive effort on Ewing, and then Bird sneaking by, grabbing the pass, and the Celtics in transition. 8 turnovers now for New York, and still only 4 for this Boston team. The Boston team that was ousted in the first round of the playoffs, 3 straight by Detroit last year. And again, Larry Bird was not a part of that. He missed all but 6 games last year. You had an interesting chat with him yesterday about coming back and what it meant to him this year.
Yeah, and the interesting thing was he's saying that he is not a confident jump shooter at this point, and that down the stretching games, if he has to shoot the jump shot now, he thinks a little bit more pass than shooting, which you never saw before.
Hopefully just bangs in the middle and is fouled.
Solid foul was on number 35, Reggie Lewis.
Reggie Lewis called for the foul, and Paxson's going to come in because that's a quick 4th foul on Reggie Lewis.
You know, if I'm part of the Knicks management and I'm watching this game right now, I'm really looking at these players and which guys do I want part of this Knickerbocker team for next year? Which guys are showing me that they really care and that winning is that important? Because that second period, they were embarrassed, and it's just a very important stage for a lot of people on this ball club.
Indiana, Detroit, second half of our doubleheader coming up today. That will follow our game, and then we've got Milwaukee, Chicago, and Los Angeles and Houston in their respective game 2s tomorrow. And we're with you every week throughout the playoffs until we crown the 1990 champion. Everything's going right for them.
Well, the funny thing is right there, another step back, and McHale would have shot the 3-pointer. This year, he made 23 3-point field goals. For his whole career before this year, he was 1 for 20.
Oakley tracks down the ball, and then Paxson dives for it. Here's McHale. Touch pass from Parrish, and Kevin McHale will shoot a couple after the foul by Wilkins.
You know, there's a play that tells a great story. It was more important to the Celtics to get that basketball, and you look up at the scoreboard, and they're up 19 points.
And diving for the loose ball.
That's right. Now, great hustle by Oakley to try and get it. Vanderway doesn't go after it. Cheeks tries, doesn't get it. Just out-hustled by the Celtics.
Kevin McHale, barring some quick turnaround now by the Knicks, the Celtics to go up 2-0 in this best-of-5 series. Interesting, given their age, do you think it's best for the Celtics to win quickly or extend the series?
Well, I believe if they can beat the Knicks quickly, it's a big plus for them.
Now, they have differing opinions. There's a battle underneath, and Robert Parrish gets it. And quickly out to Kevin McHale. Larry Bird. Look at the position underneath. Well, he gets away. And here come the Knicks. 82-61, 9:27 to go. Shot won't go at the other end. Bird back to Paxson. And Oakley got in the way of things. A little sloppy right now.
I tell you what, I tip my hat to the effort by Charles Oakley, who hasn't played in 6 weeks.
And here comes Boston running again. Not what you're used to seeing from the Celtics right now.
Now, Jimmy Rogers has got to be a little upset, too, at this point. He doesn't want to see this to get out of hand. They're playing too good a basketball to get careless. Again, the physical part of the ball game. No one checking McHale out, going for the easy tip.
Recently,
yeah, you see overhead, and they've got a 23-point lead. We talked to Red before the game today, and he was so proud of the fact that yesterday he played 50-year-old assistant coach Lanny Van Eman in racquetball and waxed him.
Yeah, but you never get the whole story from Red. You know, he might have been spotted 10 points or something like that. He's such a competitive guy. He'll just tell you the bottom line if he wins.
Yeah, he couldn't wait to remind us. Here's Ewing underneath. There's a stuff. A big play by Patrick Ewing. Kevin McHale just walked away and let it go. That shook everything in that end of the building.
But that's the first time we've seen it, though.
84-63. Here's Jim Paxson, and the trap for the full court press employed now by the Knicks after the made basket. Jimmy Rogers says, we don't mind the trap.
Yeah, and you see how the Celtics handle that. They just hold it back, and they trying to run their offense and use the clock.
Dennis Johnson. Knicks have gotten off to a slow start in each of the 3 quarters. 2 of 5 in the first, 1 of 6 in the second. They missed their first set until Ewing got that stop. And now Patrick will go to the line.
And that was some move by Patrick going baseline, because we know Parrish is trying to force him off the box and then force him to bring the ball back to the middle on the floor. And when he puts it on the floor, looking for some help from his teammates. You know what Red was talking about, this front line of the Celtics. A few years ago, watching them play and working with CBS, I thought that this was as good a front line, if not the best front line to ever play professional basketball. I think they just have all the qualities that you would love to see. And, you know, I'm sure there's people out there saying, well, what about this front line and what about that? They're as good as any that's ever played the game.
Well, I hope no one misunderstands. I'm not giving this series to Boston in any stretch, but how far do you think the Celtics could go this year?
Well, I believe, getting back to that point, we're talking about the rest. I think if they can beat the Knicks in 3, that means they would play 3 games in 2 weeks and then be rested for, most likely, you know, Indiana, no question, could upset Detroit. A lot of things can happen. Then play Detroit. I think a fresh team, that's going to be a heck of a series.
Well, you talk to Robert Parrish, and he says...
Robert Parrish thinks it's a great idea to get that rest. Larry Bird, he wants them to keep playing because he just feels that they get a little lethargic. They're not sharp, especially at the offensive end of the court when they have time off.
Johnny Newman comes back in now for the New York Knicks, and Charles Oakley will get a rest. Patrick Ewing picks up the foul. That's his 3rd.
Well, now you see there's so many mismatches out here. Now Vanderway's trying to match up against McHale. You know, there's no chance.
You're right.
That's not tough to predict. But Kiki is not known for his defense.
3-pointer.
See, now the game's getting out of hand. That's too quick of a shot. They got to show more patience and make a few passes at the offensive end of the court.
91-65, and we're just midway through quarter number 3.
I think we're going to have a highlight film of this period. If you make a mistake with Larry Bird, this is what happens. Cheeks turned his head. Paxson moved so well without the basketball.
Jimmy Paxson, another who's not certain about his future here. Getting on in years.
But now he's playing, the last month or so, they feel he's playing the ball they had expected of him when they got him from Portland.
Kiki Vandeweghe at the other end. Here's Paxson. Boy, don't go to sleep on the Celtics.
This is what we're talking about. You have to count heads. If you're, you know, the Knicks management, you got to be looking at these people. Who's out here still competing and playing basketball?
Johnny Newman gets it off the glass. 96-69. 6:10 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Why not? That would have brought the house down.
Yeah.
As if it needs to come down.
No, the fans here are just having a great time in this game.
Johnny Newman will go to the line, and Dennis Johnson picks up the foul. 5:52 to go, 3rd quarter.
You know, one thing you find in coaching or in this game, you're going to run through stretches of the year where things go bad. And one of 2 things happen to your ball club. Either they come closer together as a group, and they have the attitude, hey, it's 12 of us, our coaching staff, against the world. But what we're seeing with the Knickerbockers, it's been the opposite. It's become a situation where they appear to be all going in different directions.
Are you saying that they're playing selfish basketball?
Yeah, I would say that. But, you know, when I say selfish, I think that the most important aspect of the game and where you really show that you're a team is at the defensive end of the court. We have not seen that from this team. They have just played individual basketball.
Quick pass. Bird to Paxson. And McHale finds Robert Parrish. And Ewing finally tracks it down. 96-71. Parrish on the air ball from Vandeweghe. Celtics want to take a breather. 5:24 to go. Third quarter. Timeout, Boston.
Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball.
You got a thirst.
Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball.
You know what you need.
Give me the ball.
Fluids and minerals fast.
Give me the ball.
Energy for hard-working muscles.
Gatorade.
Nothing better. Give me some of that Gatorade.
I wish I had $1 for every place that tried to beat Midas at foreign car repair. They'd have to stock the most foreign car mufflers and brakes and have trained experts who do the job right.
A lot of them have tried, but nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
With rugged garden grip tools, the hard work isn't a life sentence, because they've got cushion grips that are really easy on your hands. Garden Grip, the great escape from yard work, only from True Temper.
And they ain't just whistling Dixie.
Can you describe the experience of driving your new Eagle Talon in 10 seconds?
I could, but I'd rather show you in 6.3.
Did you know Eagle Talon is one of Automobile Magazine's top 10?
Talon has won several prestigious automotive awards, so what's one more?
Car and Driver's 10 Best.
Detroit won its first game over the 8th seed Indiana. You'll see game 2 coming up next on CBS. Boston on the verge of taking a 2-game lead over New York. Philadelphia in a thriller over Cleveland. And Chicago took Milwaukee the other night. All first games in this best-of-5 round of the playoffs. And out west, every home team won. L.A., Utah, San Antonio, and Portland. And we'll have a doubleheader for you tomorrow featuring Chicago, Milwaukee in the first game, and then the Lakers and Houston. And the Celtics playing so well. Let's check in on what they did during the timeout. Here's Leslie Bissell.
Vern, in the huddle just now, Jimmy Rogers told his team, look, let's keep this aggressive. Let's get everybody involved. And as the game goes on, let's not lose our poise. And we were doing a really good job now. Let's keep it up.
All right, Leslie, thank you. Leslie will be with us throughout the playoffs. 96-71, a lead of 25.
And Jimmy Rogers wants to build off this game. That's why he's emphasizing this to his ball club, that they, you know, we're creatures of habit, and he wants his team to have the good habits.
Double team on McHale. He finds Bagley open for the shot. Good pass by Kevin McHale.
Good ball movement. That's what it's all about. You know, these big guys posting up McHale, Parrish, and Bird. No, they've seen that defense all their lives.
That's a two-pointer for Johnny Newman. And at the other end, here's Kevin McHale.
Just looking at the expression in the face of Patrick Ewing, then just such disappointment. Now, whose fault is that? Your guards must be back on the defensive end. They're your first line getting back.
Mark Jackson has come into the fray now with Kenny Walker, Gerald Wilkins, Newman, and Ewing for the New York Knicks. Joe Klein has come back in for Boston. And there's Ewing with 2.
There's Paxson. He was loose at the other end.
Look how quickly they find the right man.
Yeah, now we're seeing them showing the patience.
Now, Jimmy Rogers called this hurry up and be patient.
That's hurry up and be patient. Beat the press, and then let's set up and just use our strength, and that's inside or outside.
And the lead is 27. Largest lead of the game has been 29. It was 15 at the half, 3 at the end of the first quarter.
Well, you can just see that's just a great defense right there. Good hustle by Ewing to get back into the play. But the difference in this ball club, the Knicks, they're thinking before the game, let's run, push the basketball. It's not there. You know, they've just, you're looking at a team out there on the court that just believes that they're not going to win this basketball game.
Johnny Newman drives by McHale, and he'll shoot a couple. A Boston team that had a 41-38 first quarter lead, 74-59 at half. The Knicks missed their first 7 shots to start the third quarter. And now Stu Jackson's going to send Eddie Lee Wilkins in for Patrick Ewing to try and apply some sort of a tourniquet. And Patrick with a countenance of disgust as he walks to the bench and sits down. 102-78, 3:34 to go in the third quarter. Paxson.
You know, it's easy now for the Celtics to offensively. There's no pressure shooting the basketball.
Bagley.
But I'll tell you what, it's awfully good for Jimmy Rogers. For him seeing his bench come in and contribute to the way they have today.
Certainly not surprising that Boston is leading, but they are dismantling the New York Knicks. Mark Jackson gets 2 at the other end to cut the lead to 26. 2:50 to go in quarter number 3. Nice pass, Bagley to McHale.
Just as Jimmy Rogers says, we're not going to shoot that shot unless we have a layup, and that's exactly what they got out of that. Well, I tell you what, the person I feel the worst for is Stu Jackson sitting over there on the bench for the Knickerbockers.
This ovation is for Larry Bird. And Michael Smith, the club's #1 draft choice, has taken his place.
But Stu Jackson sitting over there just helpless. There's nothing he can do at this point for this ball club to get them going.
109-80. Wilkins gets 2 more for New York at the 2.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Larry Bird with 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 13 assists. Mike Smith has it knocked away by Eddie Lee Wilkins. And then Jackson gets it to the Knicks. Back to Newman. My goodness. McHale. Mike Smith from Paxson. Michael Smith out of Brigham Young University, #1 draft choice of the club. Served 2 years on a Mormon mission, and the hand for Kevin McHale as Ed Pinckney comes in.
Now that's a big decision by Jimmy Rogers right there. You might say, well, gee, they're up 30 points. There is time, and now there's a different group on the court. Now, if they get careless and allow this Knickerbocker team to feel good at all about themselves, now it could change a little bit, but then he'd have to go back to the bench and bring his starters back.
Think he may have done it too early?
Maybe a little too early.
31 points for McHale, who's on the bench right now. 112-84, 143 to go, third quarter. Bagley, Smith, Paxson, Pinckney, and Joe Klein on the court for the Celtics. Here's Ed Pinckney, who started 50 games this year. And a foul underneath, as Kevin McHale has a chance to rest with Dennis Johnson. There's been an evidence of hirsute awareness here on the Celtics. They're trying to grow Fu Manchu mustaches recently, and some aren't doing well.
Well, they're doing that in Philadelphia. They got their ears pierced, and now they're wearing black sneakers to the playoffs.
Now look at McHale. He's trying to grow the Fu Manchu.
Oh, boy.
So is Joe Klein. You can't even see Klein.
You know, Kevin's wife ought to tell him what he looks like.
Well, Michael Smith, the rookie, showed up Thursday night, there's Joe Klein. That's a wispy Fu Manchu. Smith had one when he was sitting on the bench Thursday night. I guess his wife got to him because he's clean shaven today. 114.84. Trent Tucker. Johnny Newman. Jackson gets 2.
You know, another thing is you watch this Celtic team through the Bird era. I cannot remember a year, and there hasn't been a year where they've gone into the playoffs where people didn't expect a lot of them. They're a loosey-goosey group. You know, there's no pressure. The pressure's on Detroit. The pressure's on LA. Philadelphia now has emerged as a real factor in this when you think about who's going to be in the final. So, you know, everybody, they're laying in the weeds out here, you know, this Celtic ball club.
That is a strange position to find them in. Here's Trent Tucker. Looks like he's going to make 26 straight trips to Boston without tasting victory. He's the one Knick who played in that game on leap year in 1984 when they won it. Mike Smith. Patrick Ewing. Here's Jackson. And it's 116-90. The lead down to 26 points. Shot clock is off. And a steal by Mark Jackson. Oh, what a play by Jackson, waiting for the foul from Bagley.
That's good. It's a breakaway foul. They'll shoot the foul shot, and they'll get the ball on the side. Now, here's the good hands by Jackson. Taking it in. Bagley should have let him go. Hits him from the rear. You cannot hit a player from the rear. That'll be a breakaway.
Mark Jackson at the line. And as Billy said, a breakaway foul. So after the Jackson free throw, they get the ball back with 1.4 seconds.
This game is so crazy. If he makes this foul shot, they got 1.4 seconds. They hit a three-pointer. We have a 20-point ball game.
Right.
Now, that's still a lot of points. Don't get me wrong. But now, as I was saying, did Jimmy Rogers take that group out too quickly?
Jackson just misses to the right side. That's the end of the third quarter with our score. Boston 116, New York 93. We'll return to the Boston Garden after this message and a word from your local station.
Filtered, never heat pasteurized, Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth, real draft beer taste, the world is a very cool place. So tap into the cold. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
BF Goodrich TA Tires.
BF Goodrich TA Tires perform like great athletic shoes. They grab. They dig. They give you control.
BF Goodrich TA Tires.
BF Goodrich TA Tires, the athletic shoes for your car.
BF Goodrich TA Tires.
This is CBS.
Finally, a light beer that's got rich, smooth draft taste. Don't compromise. Cold filterized with new Miller Genuine Draft Light. It's cold filtered so the rich, smooth draft taste hasn't been cooked out by heat pasteurization. So don't compromise. Cold filterized with new Miller Genuine Draft Light. There's no compromise.
My baby loves to be treated special.
Nothing's too good for my baby. Nothing but ultra. Nothing but ultra.
Treat your baby to the power and performance of Sunoco Ultra 94.
Fill it up. Ultra.
At 94 octane, it's the highest under the sun. Sunoco Ultra 94.
Nothing's too good for my baby.
Get helpful tips on Real Estate Digest Sunday morning at 11.
The reason Robert isn't leaving is not because he doesn't want to be beaten on the basketball court. It's because he doesn't want to be beaten at home.
If you know of or suspect a case of child abuse, do something about it.
Back at Boston Garden, I just spoke with Knicks general manager Al Bianchi. He's out watching the game out by a hot dog stand in the bowels of the arena. He said he's more than disturbed with the Knicks right now. He's disgusted. He said their half-court defense is nowhere. He hopes that they can raise their energy level and their defensive scheme for the 2 games or possibly 2 games back home at Madison Square Garden. He said, but right now this is an embarrassment. Vern?
Okay, Leslie, and if that's not enough, Al is suffering from a bad back, and he's got a sore throat today. So he wasn't feeling well before the game started.
I had the fortune, I was very fortunate to break into the NBA with Al Bianchi. And I know what kind of player he was, what type of person, and I know how disturbed he is about the effort that he's seeing put forth today by the Knicks.
Foul is on Johnny Newman. We are at the Garden in Boston. Vern Lundquist, Billy Cunningham, and Leslie Visser. This one was close for 1. A 3-point Boston lead at the end of the first quarter. 15 at halftime and 27 here as we start quarter number 4.
And we see that a lot of the starters are back in this to start this 4th period.
Right. Parrish, Bird, Join, Lewis, Pinckney, and Bagley. There's Robert Parrish.
I'll tell you, the Chief is something, isn't he?
Well, I was interested in what you had to say about him. I think you respect him enormously, don't you?
Oh, gosh. You know, he's such a great competitor, besides being a great player. And the thing about him also, he's so quiet. And because of that, I think, for today anyway, being part of the media, he doesn't get the credit that is due to him as a basketball player.
At the other end, Larry Bird gets 2 more, 120 to 93. Bird with 13 points.
He's so smart. Watch him down there in the post, forcing him to the middle where he wanted Parrish.
Right.
I mean, excuse me, where Parrish wanted Ewing
to go.
Ewing. He didn't get the help he was expecting of. That's what the playoffs are all about. Using what's between your ears and knowing how to play, taking away certain things from a player and a team.
Well, on Thursday night, Patrick had a very quiet 22 points because he was denied the low box. And in a sense, it's happening again today. Ewing, 19 points this afternoon.
Now here's a young man, Patrick Ewing. Anytime he steps on the court, and I'm sure during the summer when he works on his game, you never question his effort. I mean, he's a guy I pay to go watch play basketball.
Ed Pinckney. 122-95.
Well, Pinckney and Ewing know each other from the Final Four.
1985.
That's right.
Rolly Massimino and Villanova defeating John Thompson and Patrick Ewing and the Georgetown Hoyas. There's Ewing at the offensive end with 2. And Ed Pinckney, who started much of the season. They put Kevin McHale on the 6-man role and then altered that about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Larry Bird with that little curl pattern off the pick by Parrish, and Parrish chases ball down the loose ball. And again another loose ball. Oh, got him.
Well, the Celtics are getting sloppy.
And Larry Bird was giving.
I just can't believe Larry Bird got away with what he was saying to the official.
I can't either.
What he said to Tommy Nunez, just he should have been tagged with a technical foul right there.
Time has been called with 9:51 remaining.
When I grow up, I'm gonna make my mama proud and design cars just like that Ford Taurus or maybe a Ford Pro. My brother says all his successful friends drive one. Ooh, I've got to design a car like Miss Jackson's Mustang. I'll I'll be rich and famous.
That's not supposed to be a car, is it?
Oh, well, back to the drawing board.
The real test of a power mower is starting it easily on the first pull. That's why Sears is putting 100 Craftsman Eager One mowers on the line. Look at that. 99 first pull starts out of 100. No wonder there are more Craftsmen on the job than any other brand.
And now through Saturday during Sears Show and Sale, this 3.5 horsepower Craftsman lawnmower is only $199. So don't miss it.
This NBA game summary is sponsored by Sears Craftsman. People who depend on tools depend on Craftsman.
Celtics started hitting baskets at a torrid pace. It hasn't seized. New York 49%, McHale 31 points and 10 rebounds, and the Boston bench has played quite well, 34 points. Boston up 25 points under 10 minutes to go, and Larry Bird and Tommy Nunez really having words with each other just a moment ago.
Well, Bird thought he got fouled and probably did with the way he exploded there with Tommy Nunez. That's where I said that he deserved a technical foul. He could not go that far with an official.
Well, they were close enough so that we could almost hear what he said.
I think one of them was saying, you need a mint.
11 points for Bird today, and he's going to get a rest. 9:51 to go. And, of course, this is the first half of our doubleheader on CBS. Coming up next, Game 2, Detroit and Indiana. The Pistons lead the series. John Sally had a big Game 1 with 20 points and 11 rebounds.
And there's a team, Detroit, that struggled the last part of the season. If I'm not mistaken, they were their last 16 games or 18 games. They just played 500 basketball. And if anybody knows that team, it's Dick Versace, who was the assistant coach with Chuck Daly, and I'm sure was very instrumental in putting different things offensively and defensively in their game plans.
Reggie Lewis, who hit 8 of his first 10 shots in the ball game, misses that. Jackson, Ewing, Vandeweghe, Newman, and Trent Tucker on the floor now for New York. 122-97. Rejected by Robert Parrish.
How old is he?
36. Going on 19. But at 27, Patrick Ewing has some spring in his legs and gets 2 back. Larry Bird, Bagley, Parrish. There's Bagley. $124.99.
Yeah, you know, to me, that's not important. I want to see where the Knicks, do they start playing a little bit of defense. They show a little bit of character at that end of the court. That's just an individual move. And it was a great move by Johnny Newman, taking it strong to the basket. But, I mean, it looks like that their only concern is to get to the offensive end of the court and see if they can get a shot up.
Lewis. Ewing is back, so is Jackson. There's Parrish. Chases down his own rebound and finds Bagley. Look at him move the ball. Look at him move the ball.
Well, it's easy to move the ball when there's no in between you and the man you're throwing it to.
Little lethargy defensively. 126-102. And a spin move on the baseline by Patrick Ewing. Bagley and Mark Jackson. And Robert Parrish will go to the line. Trent Tucker picks up the foul.
That's the play when you play against the Celtics that you really have to be prepared and coach against. And that's when Larry Bird comes out of the stack with Robert Parrish, the different things that he can do and how he does it differently with McHale or Parrish. Now, when Parrish is in there, he'll curl around the screen by Parrish looking for the ball to either shoot it or drop it back to Parrish because he has great hands. With McHale, he'll pop out to receive the ball, either the shot or direct pass, because he said McHale doesn't have the hands that Parrish has.
Mark Jackson with a nice move. And he picks up 2, 128-106. Ed Pinckney. And he'll shoot at the free throw line. Mark Jackson with the foul. Eddie Pinckney, who came in a trade along with Joe Klein.
You know, for Danny Ainge and Brad Lowhouse.
And from everything we've been told, Billy, Pinckney has handled, as have the others who have seen reduced minutes, has handled his role very well here in the latter part of the season.
Yeah, and you look at that trade now, you know, Danny Ainge, the one thing, you know, shooting the basketball, and he was just a great player playing for this ball club and doing a nice job in Sacramento. But now, if he was here, I just wonder, would Reggie Lewis have been able to grow into the player who has got a chance to be a star at this league if he's not now?
Johnny Newman penetrates and puts it back in the hands of Kiki Vanderwijk.
Now that's what Kiki can do. He can bring that offense to this Knick ball club. And, you know, he's got to score points to be effective.
Reggie Lewis gets another couple, and he's got 19 points now.
I'm going to contradict Cheeks' comment to me at halftime, by the way. I'm saying that I couldn't, you know, don't get carried away about playing defense for this ball club. I might be able to play some out here.
I think you could. Mo Cheeks started off the season in San Antonio, having been traded from Philadelphia, and then in that much publicized trade, Rod Strickland went down to the Spurs, and Cheeks came in really expecting to play probably 18 minutes a game, and then Stu Jackson made him a starter, so he's back up around 30 now.
Yep. They just needed, they felt they needed some leadership out of Cheeks at that lead guard position they weren't getting from Jackson.
Good position by Reggie Lewis in front of Trent Tucker. 6:58 remaining in the ball game. Celtics rolling toward their second consecutive victory in this series and 26th in a row here in the Garden over New York.
We go above and beyond just like you, above and beyond what we have to do, caring for what's special to you.
I'm a Prudential representative, and what's really important to me when I go into someone's home is to help them save money on their homeowner's insurance. Because I know I'm a homeowner too.
Taking care to protect what's important to you. The Rock, the Prudential, above and beyond.
No matter how good you feel, you can still benefit from whole grain nutrition. But of these leading cereals, only Wheaties is made with 100% whole grain. So no matter what you're shooting for, better get your whole grain.
I bet eat my Wheaties.
You'll be lucky if the only place you ever meet up with Mickey Featherstone is on 60 Minutes. Why? We'll tell you Sunday on CBS.
On your way back to Boston, James Brown along with Tommy Heinsohn for Game 2 of Detroit, Indiana. One of the more interesting aspects of playoff time is the intensity level goes up. Guys who are normally friends start talking nasty about each other.
Well, we've been talking that the Pistons, who are masters of trying to distract their opponents, have been talking trash in the newspapers. If the Pacers bite for it, they're out of the series. The best way to stop trash talkers is beat them.
And, of course, we know Tommy Heinsohn never did that. Now let's go back to Boston, where we've got a guest announcer sitting alongside with Vern Lundquist and Billy Cunningham.
All right, JB, Tommy, we look forward to that ball game. 131 to 108 here with 2 seconds shy of 7 minutes remaining. It has been all Boston. And they have Larry Bird on the court now with Reggie Lewis, Ed Pinckney, Robert Parrish, and Dennis Johnson has come back in the lineup.
Tommy Heinsohn, just looking at this, I was looking through some notes. The first championship that Celtics won, Tommy Heinsohn was a rookie. It was the 7th game here in the Boston Garden against the St. Louis Hawks. Overtime, I think double overtime. Had 30-something points. So Tommy Heinsohn, as a rookie, had a heck of a playoff game.
You amaze me with the depth of your research.
That's scary, isn't it? Boy, I tell you. Talk about having a small sponge.
Tommy Heinsohn, who was, here's Vandeweghe for 3. Nope. Robert Parrish. Heinsohn, a number 2 draft choice, who's now in the Hall of Fame. Who was number 1 that year?
Cliff Hagan.
A guy named Russell.
No, they traded for him.
Oh, that's right.
They traded for him. And it ended up, you're exactly right, though, that Russell joined the ball club, but I think it was Cliff Hagan and Easy Ed McCauley were traded for Bill Russell.
That's right. Tucker, 3.
That's why we were talking to Red Auerbach about winning 99 playoff games. As great a coach as he was, he had a few good players.
133 to 111. Here's Larry Bird. And Pinckney. Yeah, Red with 99 playoff victories, and last night in Los Angeles, Pat Riley got his 99 for the Lakers. Here's Gerald Wilkins. Whoops. Ball hit Pinckney on the back of the head. Patrick Ewing. .135, 113. Detroit, Indiana coming up next. A doubleheader for you tomorrow. Chicago, Milwaukee, their game 2. And that'll be followed by the Lakers in Houston. Johnson and Bird. Well, they will go back down to Madison Square Garden on Wednesday. And if necessary, they'll play on Friday in the Garden, and then if a game 5 is necessary, they come back to the Garden next Sunday.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I will watch that game against the Knicks in the Celtic game. I want to see what kind of Knick team comes out in that game.
In Madison Square Garden,
yes,
you mean?
Yes, and not only the first part of the game when it's going to be emotional and they're going to be hyper and just well, we're going to go out and show the fans what we're made out of. I want to see how they're playing in the 4th period as a ball club.
3-pointer by Trent Tucker. We're nearing the 5-minute mark in this one. Celtics rolling with a 138-116 lead. That'll be Boston's ball. And the winner of this series advances to play the winner of the Detroit-Indiana series in the Eastern Conference. Johnson knocked away by Mo Cheeks. McHale with 31 points. Paxson with quality minutes off the bench. We'll see Charles Smith, who's on the left-hand side, before the game is over. There's the backdoor pass, and this one doesn't work. That works.
Oh, boy.
Oh, how beautiful.
You know, we're sitting here and have the ability to look at the whole court. And I saw Bird with the basketball, and I thought he was going to throw it to Reggie right here, who gives it up. But somehow he saw Pinckney on the weak side through 3 players and finds him for the dunk.
Pinckney gets the free throw. Larry Bird gets a rest. A 141-116 score at this time. And the shout of Larry. Larry goes up. Kevin Gamble has come into the lineup for the first time now.
Because the fans are doing it because they're getting into this playoff spirit here in Boston. You know, they're spoiled up here, and now they see their team play this way. They're thinking, hey, bring on the next opponent.
4:07 to go. Knocked out of bounds by Reggie Lewis. Most points scored in a playoff game in nearly 5 years.
Well, we'll be going way past that with 4 more minutes to play. We'll be well over 150 points.
Nice adjustment by Gerald Wilkins.
I would wonder if that game with 143 points was it an overtime situation where they might have ended up playing maybe 10 extra minutes of basketball, because I just don't remember, in my recollection, a playoff game, you know, well over 150 points.
That was a Memorial Day game with the Los Angeles Lakers when they scored the 143. Here's Brian Quinnett. Young man out of Washington State. Michael Smith comes in, and Reggie Lewis gets a nice hand. Charles Smith on the floor now. So it's Smith and Smith, along with Klein, Gamble, and Pinckney.
Well, he comes in. Maybe we'll get a few people out of the stands to come out here and shoot a few up.
They're looking your way, Bill.
No.
3:20. Gerald Wilkins. Put back by Brian Swinnett is good. 145, 120. This one was over in the second quarter, when Boston burns the Knicks. There's the double team on Klein, and he finds Pinckney.
And Pinckney looks like he's an all-pro today.
Turnover at the other end.
No matter where in the world you find yourself, if you lose your Visa Gold Card, we'll be sure to find you, because Visa will deliver a new card and emergency cash right to you. Whether you're negotiating the powder in Zermatt, exploring the coral off Bermuda, or simply checking out some Puyi Fumé at the Hotel de la British, where you can't even check in with American Express. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Think you've seen the ultimate Pizza Hut pan pizza?
You ain't seen nothing yet. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet.
The new Grand Pan Pizza from Pizza Hut. The ultimate pan pizza with not 8, not 9, but 10 great toppings. Now get one Grand Pan Pizza for only $9.99 and a second for just $4 more. But hurry, it's a limited time offer.
Pizza Hut.
Hi, how are you? Today's word is rebound. Can you say rebound? Sure you can. And remember, always use your elbows.
Wednesday.
You're my father.
Is it a family reunion?
I wouldn't mind if she were my daughter.
Or a deadly mistake?
We're gonna be together forever.
On Jake and the Fat Man, Wednesday.
Back here at Boston Garden in a stunning 11th hour move, the Celtics have named me to their playoff roster, although judging by the way they play today, they don't really need anybody. Actually, this is a benefit for charity. It's $5 a snapshot, and it goes to benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston and also the Red Auerbach Foundation. Vern, I think there's a spot here on the team for you.
You are by far the most attractive of that bunch.
Oh, hands down.
Hands down. 2:57 go in the ball game. And it's Kevin Gamble, Charles Smith, Ed Pinckney, Joe Klein, Michael Smith. Now Stuart Gray has come on for the Knicks, along with Jackson, Eddie Lee Wilkins, Gerald. And there's a takeaway. Gerald Wilkins has it. Out of bounds, New York to inbound. 2:38 remaining. Patrick Ewing apparently has seen his final action today, as has Kenny Walker.
This Knick team should be mad at each other, mad at everyone for the way they performed today.
Michael Smith. Do you have a sense that they will be?
I think some will.
Some.
I don't, and it's not fair for me to answer
that,
because I just don't know these young men well enough to really reply to that question. But just by looking at their faces out here on the court, as like anyone else sitting here, I get the feeling that some, it really bothers others. It's a little bit of a selfish feeling that maybe I should have been playing more minutes. Maybe it's the coach's fault, which it isn't.
149, 122. Gerald Wilkins, 2 more.
Well, he hasn't stopped playing.
No. Wilkins has 24 now in the ball game. Ewing out with 28. Charles Smith. That's for 2. 151 to 124.
They could use that guy out there for a little bit of defense. Walt Frazier, of course, during the great era of the Knickerbockers, and just truly a great basketball player.
1:30 remaining in regulation. And the Knicks will be down 2-0. Next game, Madison Square Garden. There's Stuart Gray for the couple.
Can you imagine if the Celtics really pushed the tempo?
Oh, wow.
Because Jimmy Rogers wanted to make sure he controlled the tempo, and that's how easy it's been. I haven't seen many summer league games where teams have been able to score it easier.
151-126. Joe Klein. Everything is falling. Klein has 8. And we're in the final minute. Jackson taken away by Charles Smith. The lead to Gamble. Behind the back, Michael Smith.
3 Knicks never got across half court defensively.
.156 is a playoff record for points scored in the NBA. And the Boston Celtics will have a chance.
They'll get it.
Not yet.
They'll still have another try.
.20 seconds to go.
What do you think? Think he'll get it?
Yep.
This is pressure.
Maybe not. 58 points off the Boston bench today.
This is it.
See if this goes.
Yes! Got it! Whoa!
A new scoring record as well as a victory for the Boston Celtics. We'll go back to our New York studios after this message.
It's strange. I can't pick up anything.
Still, huh? Cold filtered, never heat pasteurized, Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
At Ford, we've anticipated the needs of a changing world by completely rethinking the way we make small cars, working to reduce our margin of error to 0. And in creating a new process, we created the new Ford Escort, designed and built to rival the best small cars in the world. Introducing the next Ford Escort, a new line of thought, a new line of cars.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Hi, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, once again back in our New York studios, and welcome to the basketball show between games here in New York. So the Boston Celtics set a record. They beat the Knicks. They're up 2-0 in the series and really make a statement. They've now won 26 games in a row against the New York Knickerbockers in the Boston Garden. It's doubleheader day here on CBS, and coming up shortly is the Indiana Pacers and the world champion Detroit Pistons live from the Palace at Auburn Hills. And for a report on that, there's James Brown. James?
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And slow-filling crowd here at the Palace in Auburn Hills, getting set for Game 2 of the contest.
No rebound, out of bounds, off Parrish.
Pretty good defensive job right there by Lamb. He cut Kevin off and made him take a very tough shot.
Yeah, he did, and McHale pulled it up short. Isaiah goes baseline, misses over Bagley. Parrish pulls it off. That's 10 rebounds for Parrish. Reggie Lewis driving on McGuire, hooks lefty on the run. No, Bagley tried to tap it, didn't get it. Isaiah the other way. He's 1 on 3, and he lost it. He's playing about a step quicker than anybody else on the floor. And he's in such a great zone that it's hard for him to slow it down right now.
You're absolutely right.
There's nobody in the building can keep up with him, except maybe Dave Bing here.
I'm in the right place, George.
Lewis in the lane, runs and guns and misses again to Lambier.
And Chuck is going to call a play, I'll guarantee you, on this one.
Isaiah working the sideline against Bagley. They want to go mid-post to Edwards. They get it there. High post fade away, no. Sally slap tap, no. And the rebound comes to Aguirre. Edwards wants it mid-post against McHale. Gets it. Bird cheating back to double. James goes baseline. Misses. McHale shoved him, though, on the shot.
Surely did. Kevin is arguing about that one, but he pushed down low.
Timeout here. 2.5 left in the third. The Celtics by 3, 77-74 on the world champion Pistons Basketball Network.
A good dunk is a real crowd pleaser. But to make a crowd real happy, just load them into a roomy, comfortable Plymouth Acclaim. A better value than Honda Accord with driver's side airbag, more interior room, and available sitting for 6, not 5. See you, Chrysler Plymouth guy. Okay, who's the wise guy? Contract says stuntman.
And what a day. I could sure use a vacation.
Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold buds.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah. What makes a great hospital? Its people or its equipment? Its diagnostic skills or treatment options?
Persist in the right frontal lobe.
Is a great hospital strong in advanced medicine or primary care?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It looks great.
Or is a great hospital simply all of the above?
Yeah.
St. John Hospital and Medical Center.
Soft tacos, burritos, and more. 59 cents at Taco Bell.
Make a run, 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 run for the border.
Big John County and James Hunter and Ron Nash and all our friends at Anheuser-Busch want us to remind you the next Budweiser Fight Night at the Palace is next Thursday at 7:30. 84 gold medalist Tyrell Biggs faces Mike Cohen in a 10-round heavyweight main event. And the Budweiser Country Music Series at the Palace continues with Loretta Lynn, Crystal Gale, and Gary Morris next Saturday at 7:30. Jimmy Edwards at the line misses the first. Some Piston fans here include Chuck Borders, Roy Leonard, Ted Widland, Bob Spencer, Tom Bowman, Larry Kleins, and Steve Barger. Jimmy split the pair, missing and then making. Boston with a big edge on the boards in the second half. They lead 77-75. Vinny back in the game. Isaiah resting. Bird wide of the lane. Misses over Sally. Airballed it to Bagley. He'll take it to the baseline. Turn and miss. Tap Klein, no. And Lambier pulls it off. Joe Klein and McHale and Bird with Bagley and Reggie Lewis for Boston. The Pistons have missed their last 5. Looking for a make here. Denny Johnson trying to find Aguirre off a screen. Finally has to give to Sally on the wing. Lambier catches in the corner. Turns, misses. McHale rebounds. Lost it. But there's going to be a foul. Aguirre came up with it, but I believe Mark will get the foul. He does. Jim Kinsey looks like he's nobody you want to argue with, huh, Dave?
Oh, he is put together. He looks like a football player, weightlifter, whatever out there. He is really put together. The Celtics are really, really doing a good job on the glass, though. They've reduced the game to a half-court game, and they've just got big, big bodies out there.
McHale at the line. Happy birthday to Heather Spencer back in Plymouth from her dad who's here tonight, and Jonathan Corpus, too. Dad Lou is here with some Piston clients.
Pistons need to score here. They've got to get a good shot. Everything is coming from the outside.
Kale made 2. Boston by 4. Then he's trying to work Bagley. Gets an Edwards screen. He's back in mid-post now on Bagley. Back top side to Edwards. The clock is inside 10. James with a high post turn and gun. Off the iron to Bagley. Bagley gives to Bird deep on the wing. Trying for 3. This one's through. Boy, that one brings the house down. Boston lead by 7.
They got to be very careful here not to dig a hole. Get this crowd back in the game.
Vinnie Johnson looking for Aguirre, gets it to him. Mark against Klein to the dotted line. The half foot, no. Lambier stick back blocked by Bird. Aguirre tries and makes. That was an important make.
Yes, it was. Lamb kept it alive. He won't get credit for that, but he got the rebound. Even though it was blocked, that allowed Mark to get it and put it in.
82-77. Boston with the lead in the ball. Final minute of the third. Bird down the lane. He draws the foul.
Georgia Celtics are setting some wicked picks, I'll tell you, to get Bird loose. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, they are. James Edwards will appear at the TGI Fridays in Troy from 6:30 to 7:30 this Sunday. Don't forget, guests on our broadcast get a gift certificate from TGI Fridays restaurants nationwide, including 4 in Metro Detroit. TGI Fridays, an American bistro. Bird with a make. Larry Bird doesn't surprise you when he makes, averaging 41 in the last 7 home games. And what's he shoot? 93% at the line.
Automatic.
Gets 2 there, and he has 26. Isaiah leads the Pistons with 25, says our statistician Jim Stamos. 7-point Celtic lead, 84-77. Then he goes into Aguirre. Aguirre trying to take Reggie Lewis to the lane. Lewis got the ball, but he got Mark on the shot. Mark was strong enough to get it down and get a chance to make it a 3-point play at the line.
Vintage Mark Aguirre, as he gets the ball and just rolls that big body in there, and there's nothing that Lewis can do. He's at Mark's mercy. Mark gets it off the glass and gets fouled, goes to the free throw line.
I like this big guard stuff, especially when we got the pill. He makes. And now it's 84-80. Vinnie Johnson and Aguirre at the guards. Sally, Edwards, and Lambier up front.
Pistons need a stop right here.
We're looking at 12 seconds and about 11 on the shot clock. Bird outside on Sally. 2-time. Clock at 5, now 4. He will turn and force and miss. Klein tapping it short to Lambier. They got the stop. And at the end of 3, it's Boston by 4, 84-80 on the world champion Pistons Basketball Network.
Raising children today can really drain your cash flow. That's why I carry the one card I know I can count on to handle those unexpected needs that always pop up. And that's important because with my kids, whenever one of their friends gets something, they've got to get it too, right, guys?
Very funny.
It was funny. Come on.
Sure.
The Health Alliance Plan card, with coverage only available from Michigan's #1 managed health care plan.
My HAP card really comes through, even in the toughest spots.
It is the great triumph of genius to make the common man appear novel. It is much more secure to be feared than to be loved. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Fake left, fake right, shoot, swish.
Save on Nabisco Ritz crackers, 16-ounce package, $1.99. And Clorox bleach, a gallon jug, only $1.09.
Pizza Hut has a great new way to get your family together. An NCAA mini basketball. Now you can get one for only $2.99 with every Pizza Hut pizza you buy.
Yeah.
The mini basketball is fun to play with. And Pizza Hut knows that the family that plays together is always showing off. The mini basketball is just $2.99, but hurry, supplies are limited.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
Cousins. Sportscaster Fred McLeod for Cousins Clothes.
You know, I work out a lot, but my biggest problem with a new suit has been when the coat fits,
The pants are way too big. Well, Cousins solved that with their huge selection of national brand suits for the hard-to-fit, athletically built man. There's more room in the arms, chests, and thighs for larger muscles and smaller waist. While other stores sell these suits for $450 or more, Cousins start at only $289. So if you're in shape, Cousins has the suit to fit both you and your wallet.
Shop Cousins.
With a K.
It's Tuesday when the Pistons host Boston. It'll be Dennis Rodman jersey night, courtesy of Sheraton Oaks Hotel. The first 4,000 youngsters, 14 and under, get a Rodman jersey, compliments of the Sheraton Oaks in Novi. Then Friday, April 6th, Franklin Savings Bank presents the Pistons Legends game at 7:30. It will also be Franklin Savings Bank handkerchief night for the first 2,000 fans in attendance. Dave Bing plays in that one, I believe.
I'll walk in that one anyway, George.
Guy's so trim, I know he can still play. Johnny Mose watching tonight with his current bride.
I tell you, I remember Johnny over the years that I played against the Celtics, and surely the year that I played here. Funny guy.
Loves you if you wear green, doesn't he?
Oh, yes.
Otherwise, forget about it. But he's a legend here. Deserves to be. What style? Longtime radio voice of the Celtics. Parrish missing baseline as we open the fourth. And the Pistons, who are down 4, go to work with Aguirre, Rodman, Isaiah, Sally, and Edwards on the floor. Through 3 quarters, Boston with 2 more rebounds. And way ahead of the Pistons in shooting, but they have 5 more turnovers. We'll pick our defensive player of the game tonight for Health Alliance Plan. Health Alliance Plan, your health deserves the best. Boston plays some defense. Aguirre misses the Klein. Bagley off the Bird, free because of a Perry screen. The shot rockets out, though, to Rodman. Now Isaiah for the Pistons. Looking to lob it to Aguirre. He's got Paxson inside. Got to like that. He'll go to the hole. Paxson grabs him and fouls him. No other way to stop the shot.
There's a lot of bodying up right there, I tell you. Paxson was bumping Mark, and Mark caught him in a bear hug. You know, as we look at the replay here, Mark had good position. Just a very, very quick move, and Paxson really is trying to pay him back for what Mark did to him that we didn't see.
Well, he moved that big body in a hurry there, and he's at the line and makes the first. Kevin McHale checking in for Boston. Klein comes out. Wayne State University Days, April the 9th. My friends in the Tartar Gridiron Club want me to pass that information along to you. Bob Glutz over and the boys say all WSU alums will be honored, and they're invited back to the Student Center that day at lunch to meet all their old pals.
I tell you, this team that the Pistons have in there right now, I think they're really going to go to Mark quite a bit and have him take advantage of the mismatch between Paxton and himself.
There's no way that Paxton can play him.
No, no way. And I don't think Paxton is going to get the ball enough to hurt Mark on the other end.
Mark made 2. 2-point game, David. Boston 84, the Pistons 82. Early in the fourth, McHale, topside to Bird, free for a moment. The shot's hard off the heel, though, to Sally. Isaiah comes to work, gives it to Aguirre. Now McHale chasing Aguirre. Mark takes him inside. He's 2-time, throws it away. Bagley swipes it outside. Bagley bouncing to Paxson to the hole. No! He's on the floor, but he does draw the foul.
Isaiah gets out of there with that look on his face as to say, not me. I'll tell you, if Paxson doesn't fall down or if he makes the shot, I don't think the official would have made that call. At any rate, he's made the call, and it's a 2-shot foul as Jim Paxson goes to the line.
Boston on the season is shooting nearly 83%, and they are on pace for a new team season record. They're 14 for 14 now tonight as Paxson makes the first. Bill Lambier's on for Edwards for the Pistons. Paxson made them both. Boston perfect at the stripe, and they lead by 4. 10 and 25 left. Bill Lambier setting a high screen for Isaiah, but Bagley's through it. Isaiah to the wing. Rodman wants it inside against Paxson, doesn't get it. Lambier topside swings to Aguirre on the wing. The rainbow, no. Rodman keeps it alive, and Aguirre has it. Good hustle by Dennis Rodman. Mark Aguirre taking Bird to the lane. The fadeaway, no. Parrish has the rebound, and a foul will be called on John Sally.
You know, Mark is getting everything that he wants. Those two shots didn't go down for him, but you got to keep it on his hand, I think.
Oh, yeah, and he wants it. That's the best part. Boston with it. Bird pitching to McHale. Wide of the lane against Lambier. Inside to Bagley. Touch speed to Parrish. Heck of a catch by Parrish. And when he finally was able to hang on to the ball, Darrell Gerritsen whistled John Sally for the foul. The winner of the Precision Tune TV 50 round trip with the Pistons is Brian King. He won an all-expense-paid trip to this game. Compliments of Precision Tune and TV 50. Benny Johnson on for Aguirre. I bet they go to him. Bird nearly lost the dribble, gives to Bagley outside. In the paint to Parrish. Foul line, turn and gun goes for Parrish. He got the call.
I'll tell you what, it's just unreal to see a 7'1" guy shoot the ball with that much arc. Robert Parrish. Parrish gets the ball in the paint, and I think they're going to call that foul on Isaiah.
That is Isaiah's third and the Pistons' fourth. That's a bad number with 9:37 still to play. The Celtics have just one team foul. Parrish with the make, 18 points and 11 rebounds. Boston by 7, 9.5 left. Isaiah looking to drive Bagley to the lane, puts his head down and travels.
And he lost his balance right there, and Bird was in a very, very good position. Stood his ground. Isaiah ran into him, and as he tried to change his pivot feet to get his balance back, he's called for traveling.
Could have called that an offensive foul, but traveling was the proper call there. Larry Bird off to Bagley. From the sideline to the foul line to the dotted line. Wild miss on a force to Vinny. BJ the other way, still with it. Nice blind dish to Rodman, and he stepped out of bounds, says Jim Kinsey. Boy, the people on the Piston bench who saw it are really arguing about the call, led by Chuck Daly.
There's the tech.
And he'll get it. He is really hot, because we all saw it.
Isaiah's very upset also, and he's going to have to be careful.
Boy, when you see a guy butcher a call right in front of you, it's difficult. And you'd think that would be a simple call to make.
Yeah. And I think what Darrell Gerritsen is doing is trying to protect the younger ref right there.
And that's his job, really.
Yeah. Now, Vinny drives the baseline there. Rodman, and it's very, very tough to see, but he was, I don't know. It looks like he is out of bounds there.
They called 2 technicals, one on Chuck Daly and one on Bill Lambier. Larry Bird at the line knocked the first one down. He nails the next. Now the Pistons are looking up from 9 down. Boston's biggest lead is 91-82. 9:06 left.
I think, from a strategic standpoint, I think Chuck wanted his guys. They weren't playing well. It was about a 3-minute stretch where they really weren't playing well, and he's getting them psyched up, getting them fired up.
Might have been about time. Boston with a ball and a 9-point lead. Paxson chased by Vinny. Through a screen, he'll have to give back to Parrish. Wide of the lane against Edwards. Parrish baseline. Guns, no. Edwards hands it to Isaiah. Isaiah coming to work, taking the baseline, taking the lane, double clutching and missing. Vinny missed the tap. Parrish pulled it off, but the Pistons knock it away. BJ has it. They get a new shot clock. Outside it goes. Now here's Isaiah from the corner. No. Parrish with a rebound.
Gone ice cold, the Pistons have.
8:20 left, and they're down 9, needing a stop. You don't want to get in too big a hole on the road. Boston will take the timeout here. 8:15 to play. The Celtics lead 91-82. This is the world champion Pistons Basketball Network.
When you say taco, say 49 cents. 'Cause that's all it takes at Taco Bell. Hard to believe, but you know darn well it tastes so good. Lettuce and cheese. Wake up your mouth with that seasoned ground beef. It runs for the border.
They're back. The Pistons come free at participating Taco Bell restaurants when you buy a large drink.
One true test of a new car's quality is what it's worth 3 years after you buy it. Of every 1986 American car, Pontiac Grand Am excels in resale value. Grand Am has had the best retained value of any domestic car. Better than any Ford, better than any Chrysler, better than any American car. True quality is Grand Am. See Noonan, Sterling Heights, Art Moran, Southfield, and Shelton, Rochester.
If a mobile phone is only as good as the area it covers, Ameritech gives you nearly 20% wider coverage than the competition. That's a lot of places where our service works, and theirs doesn't. Connect with the leader, Ameritech Mobile.
Don't miss the Greater Detroit Sports Fishing Expo at the Palace tomorrow and Sunday, from 10 till 10 tomorrow and 10 to 7 Sunday. Great displays and demonstrations and personal appearances by all the big names in sports fishing. Larry Bird, the biggest name in Boston, just gunned down a triple from the corner. They're going crazy. Bird has 31, and Boston's up a dozen. Isaiah lobbing it inside to Edwards. James will miss the fadeaway, but draw the foul.
On the mismatch right there, as Dennis Johnson was playing down low behind James, Isaiah got him the ball. Bird tried to come over to help him out and fouled James. He's going to the line for 2.
10-0 run in the last 2.5. Jimmy Edwards finally stops it at the stripe. 94-83. The Pistons, of course, with plenty of time to come back. 7:52 left. But they haven't made a field goal yet in the quarter.
You know, they haven't played well this quarter at all, George. Ball movement hasn't been there, and they're struggling to get a pretty good shot.
You're right. It's not just that the shots won't drop. Jimmy Edwards got both free throws to drop. We have a 10-point game.
Daly is going to try and make him play some more pressure defense now. He's bringing the defense out a little higher.
Lewis against Vinny. VJ all over him. Reggie Lewis looked like he palmed it. Runs Vinny into a Bird screen. Goes baseline. Rodman trying to take the charge. Instead gets the block. That's his 4th foul.
Wrong floor. Now once again, as Lewis drives Vinny into Bird, and I would have to say that's a very, very close call.
Dennis gets his share of those. But this one he didn't get. Lewis makes the first. Boston 19 for 19 from the line. How about that? Couldn't put the whammy on them. They're 20 for 20. 96-84 Celtics. Isaiah gets it to Vinny. He's going to have to start jacking it up. He does. And he hits it off the high glass.
Let's hope that's the start of it.
VJ with 10. Boston's lead is 10. 7:15 to play. Dennis Johnson backing on Isaiah. Looking for Bird. Finds him on the wing. Wide of the lane on Rodman, an up fake, now a force, he missed it. Rebound out of bounds, Pistons. Went off Parrish.
I think James is a little tired, he's walking up court.
Isaiah at the dotted line, guns, he got it. Got great rim action there. And the Pistons are down just 8.
What it does, Chuck is really cajoling the guys to get up and start playing pressure defense to get them into the game.
They'll have to. Both teams with only 2 makes from the floor in the quarter. Boston draws a foul.
Tough thing is on Edwards, and the Pistons are over the limit.
They're in the penalty with 6:41 to go. That doesn't make some of these Piston fans who've come all the way out here to see the game happy.